As the world of virtual reality continues to evolve, there has been a lot of discussion about the future of PCVR. Some people believe that PCVR is dying, while others believe that it's still a thriving and important part of the VR ecosystem. One of the main reasons that some people believe that PCVR is dying is the decline in the number of new PCVR games and the experience being released. In the early days of VR, there were a lot of exciting new PC VR games and experience being released, but in recent years the number of new releases has slowly declined. This has led some people to believe that the interest in PC VR has waned and that the market is no longer viable for developers. Another reason for some people to believe that PC VR is dying is the increasing popularity of StandAlone VR headsets. StandAlone VR headsets are self-contained devices that do not require a PC or other external devices to operate. These headsets are becoming more popular because they are more affordable, wireless, and easier to use than PC VR headsets. As a result, some people believe that PC VR is losing ground to standalone VR headsets. Despite these concerns, however, it's important to note that PC VR is still a vibrant and important part of the VR ecosystem. PC VR has several key advantages over standalone VR headsets, including higher quality graphics and more powerful processing capabilities. This means that PC VR can deliver more immersive and realistic VR experiences than standalone VR headsets. Additionally, PC VR has a dedicated community of users who are passionate about VR and are willing to invest in high-end VR hardware. This means that there is still a strong demand for PC VR content, and many developers are continuing to create new and exciting PC VR games and experiences. So, why are we seeing less content for PC VR? One reason for the decline in the number of new PC VR releases is the high cost of developing VR games and experiences. Developing VR content is expensive and many developers are unable to recover the development costs to the sales of VR games. This has made it difficult for developers to justify investing in new PC VR content. Another reason for the decline in new PC VR releases is the slow adoption of VR technology by the general public. Despite the excitement surrounding VR in the early days, the technology has not yet reached mainstream adoption. As a result, the market for VR content is smaller than some developers had hoped, making it difficult for them to justify investing in new PC VR content. If a AAA studio commits millions of dollars of development, they have a bigger opportunity to sell millions of units in the console or PC market than for VR, since that market is much bigger. However, as of 2023, we might start to see a tipping point for the VR industry. With PCVR 2 releasing, we have big AAA studios releasing VR titles like Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil 8, and other Sony first-party titles. All of the development that Sony will fund in their AAA studios to create VR titles will eventually push the remaining VR studios, including Oculus Studios, to produce competing PC VR titles. Overall, while it's true that the number of new PC VR releases has slowed down in recent years, it's important to remember that PC VR is still a thriving and important part of the VR ecosystem. PC VR has several key advantages over standalone VR headset, and there is still a strong demand for high quality VR content. While the market for VR content may be smaller than some developers had hoped, there are still plenty of opportunities for developers to create exciting and innovative new PC VR games and experiences.